Blood on the high Lonesome. The sun, a relentless blacksmith hammering the desert landscape, beat down on the desolate town of Redemption. In its dusty heart, a shootout raged, the sharp crack of gunfire echoing against weathered buildings. Sheriff Silas Deadeye McCall, his gun hand steady as the mountains he'd once called home, stood amidst the chaos. Outnumbered but unwavering, he faced a band of outlaws, their faces hidden behind bandanas, their eyes gleaming with malice. As the smoke cleared, revealing the carnage, McCall found himself staring into the cold, familiar eyes of his past. Blackheart Bart Callahan, a specter from McCall's darkest memories, emerged from the shadows, a cruel smirk twisting his lips. "Long time no see, Sheriff," Callahan drawled, his voice a chilling echo from a bygone era. The townsfolk, huddled in fear, watched as the two men, bound by a shared history of violence and vengeance, locked eyes. Callahan's return cast a long shadow over Redemption, the air thick with apprehension. McCall, haunted by the loss of his family and the weight of his badge, knew this was a reckoning he couldn't avoid. "Your time's run out, Callahan," he growled, his voice roughened by years of dust and regret. As Callahan's men scattered, leaving their leader to face his fate, the town held its breath. The sheriff's young deputy, Eli Two-Gun Turner, watched the unfolding drama with a mix of awe and trepidation, his loyalty to McCall wrestling with the allure of the outlaw's wild freedom. In the saloon, Maeve O'Malley, the sharp-tongued owner with an uncanny knack for knowing everyone's business, poured a shot of whiskey, her eyes narrowed in contemplation. "The past ain't never dead in this town, Sheriff," she muttered, the clink of the glass punctuating the silence. A mysterious drifter, known only as Whispering Will Prescott, leaned against the bar, his gaze fixed on the brewing storm outside. His motives remained as elusive as the wind that howled through the canyons, but his presence hinted at deeper secrets yet to be revealed. McCall, fueled by a sense of duty and a thirst for justice, vowed to bring Callahan to heel. But as he delved into the outlaw's motives, he uncovered a web of deceit that reached into the very heart of Redemption. Betrayal lurked in every shadow, each whisper carrying the weight of a bullet. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of blood and fire. McCall and Callahan stood at opposite ends of the dusty main street, their guns drawn, the tension crackling like a live wire. A gunshot shattered the silence. The echo reverberated through the desolate valley, leaving the town hanging in the balance. In the aftermath, one man would fall, and the other would be left to face the consequences of a blood-soaked past. McCall awoke with a gasp, his head pounding like a blacksmith's hammer. He found himself sprawled in the dirt, the taste of blood in his mouth. Through blurred vision, he saw Callahan standing over him, his gun smoking. "Looks like the Deadeye has lost his touch," Callahan sneered, pressing the barrel against McCall's forehead. Just as Callahan was about to pull the trigger, a shot rang out. Callahan stumbled back, clutching his shoulder, a look of surprise etched on his face. Eli stood a few yards away, his own gun still smoking. "You ain't killing her, my sheriff," Callahan, the young deputy declared, his voice trembling but resolute. Callahan, wounded but not defeated, snarled, "You'll pay for that, boy." With a swift movement, he turned and disappeared into the gathering darkness. McCall, struggling to his feet, nodded at Eli. "Thanks, son," he rasped. But this ain't over yet. The next morning, Redemption awoke to a tense silence. The townsfolk, shaken by the previous night's events, whispered amongst themselves, their fear palpable. McCall, nursing his wounds, knew he had to act quickly. Callahan wouldn't rest until he had his revenge. Gathering Eli and Maeve, McCall laid out his plan. "Callahan's got something planned, something big. We need to figure out what it is before it's too late." Maeve, ever resourceful, offered her insights. "I heard whispers that Callahan's been meeting with some unsavory characters out at the old ghost town. They say there's a hidden fortune buried there, lost since the gold rush days." McCall's eyes narrowed. "That's it. Callahan's after the gold. He's gonna use it to build an army and take over this town." With a newfound sense of urgency, the trio set out for the ghost town. The journey was fraught with danger, each creaking floorboard and rustling bush a potential ambush. As they approached the dilapidated buildings, they spotted a group of men huddled around a campfire. Callahan was among them, his laughter echoing through the desolate streets. McCall signaled for Eli and Maeve to stay back as he crept closer. He overheard Callahan boasting about his plans, his voice filled with arrogance. "Once I have that gold, redemption will be mine." "And McCall? He'll be just another tombstone in this godforsaken desert." McCall's blood boiled. He drew his gun, ready to confront Callahan and his men. But just as he was about to step out of the shadows, a hand clamped down on his shoulder. He turned to see Whispering Will standing behind him, a solemn expression on his face. "Not yet, Sheriff," Will whispered. "There's more at play here than you realize." Will revealed that he had been tracking Callahan for months, uncovering a plot far more sinister than a simple gold heist. Callahan wasn't just after the fortune, he wanted to use it to finance a war against the neighboring towns, plunging the entire region into chaos. McCall realized the stakes were higher than he had imagined. This wasn't just about protecting redemption, it was about preserving the fragile peace of the entire frontier. If you are enjoying Advent,